And although obviously you work for Rico and coming from a Rico world, obviously DocuWare is owned by Rico. But this product, specifically DocuWare, and its ability to develop, it's more than just a HR system. And that was kind of one of the questions I had. Was, I guess, what separates a product like a document management? What's the benefit, I guess, to using a document management system over a dedicated HR product? What makes it different, and how does it add value to an end user, to a customer?
So every customer in some way is different. So for some customers, this will cover everything they require, because their requirements might be around that document management and the processing that information. We speak to other organizations where actually we just want to focus on employee onboarding, and we have a dedicated payroll and holiday management system for our employees. Separate to this, it might be SAP, for example. Yeah. The beauty with DocuWare is it can tick all the boxes for all of those companies. We can give them a platform in which we can manage documents and capture information for a business that has no HR management system. We can also integrate with existing HR systems as well. So think of us as a platform in which we can manage everything, or we can be a layer over other applications and manage the documents and the process and deliver the information into those systems as well. So whatever the requirement is, I would say typically a lot of these systems, HR systems, and if you wanted to look at wider accounting systems, ERPs, they're all very good at managing the data for their own role. What none of them are really grasping too well is how to manage the documents and the information in those documents. Think of DocuWare as that layer of capturing that information, routing it, notifying people, ensuring it's compliant, and then delivering and updating that system with the information that's required.
Because even though there's elements of crossover in terms of the features in some scenarios for some of these products, it's the fact that actually those are quite dedicated products and are perhaps a little bit isolated, can't share that information around an organization as well as something like a document management system, which is fundamentally what a document management system is. Yeah. But it's got these added feature benefits around AP automation, for HR. It could even be developed for sales teams, to use in other regards. But it's how it can be integrated to connect those different systems so that information is shared more easily, I guess, across an organization.
Well, this is it. Those applications typically will give you like silos and data silos and information silos. What we're doing here is we're bringing those together. We're capturing the information being received into a business. We're centralizing that information to start, and we're also updating the systems as we need to as well.
No, I think that makes sense. I mean, it's something that we've experienced, and I think naturally comes up. You obviously say automation, and I think people sometimes go to the extreme and think, okay, this product's now going to be able to automate the onboarding of the employee. It's going to do all the documents. It's going to, and I guess something that's worth mentioning is it's not that. It's not that level of automation just yet. I mean, hopefully that's where it gets to, and it can support with that kind of level of efficiency. But I think what's worth touching on is it still gives the HR manager or whoever's implementing the task the control to action a certain task or not, and to have some level of control over that process.
Yeah, it's a system that it's going to do the manual legwork for you. It's going to look at the documents that it's being received. It's going to look at the information in those documents. It's going to follow rules based on that information, or it might just make that information more accessible. Examples could be somebody's completed an application form. It's for Department X. That head of department gets notification to say they've completed an application form, and they could review it. It could be actually we have a pool of applicants that have been unsuccessful previously, but we have permission to keep their information on record. We could search that pool for keywords and information in those documents to say, actually, these would be a suitable match for the role that we're just about to advertise. Yeah. Should we contact those people? So there's lots of ways we can leverage that.
So kind of supporting with some of the more mundane, boring tasks that actually quite time consuming. And, if you're paying a HR manager, you don't really want them to be spending their time doing administrative tasks. You want them to be spending their time doing the thing that they're skilled in, they're trained in, the thing that they're there to do, really.
You're absolutely right. And HR would be the first people, they've gone through the relevant qualifications to work with people. Yeah. Not with filing cabinets. Yeah. So, absolutely. This is what it's taking away. It's removing a lot of probably the admin that is the bane of a lot of people's lives, trying to remove that admin and the stress of the admin away so they can concentrate on what they want to be doing.
Yeah, and I guess that's the value add to an organization for a product like this, because I guess, it's easy to say, well, we've got a HR team. Why would we onboard software like this at the detriment potentially to those employees, what is the benefit there? And it's really about the return on investment is this. It's dealing with the movement of data rather than a highly skilled, highly trained individual that should be working with people, instead working with filing cabinets, as you say. And instead you hand that over to an automated system, a robot, DocuWare, which would be able to essentially extract that information, move around an organization in a compliant way, reduce the risks. That's it. I think the value there is immeasurable to some degree, because you're giving time back to those employees, the HR manager, the different HR individuals in that team, and they're doing what they've been hired to do, which is do the human element, work with human beings.
Correct. Yeah.